The rock slide. Oh, sure, man. That's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, he said the French bad word. No way.
We outside. Yeah.
Hello, my love.
What's that Android noise, dude? What is that?
xQc world record. Man chicken clap, man chicken clap, man chicken clap, man chicken clap.
Oh wait, this
man,
is
chicken
sick.
Clap, man,
It's nearly a perfect match.
6 months Pagman. Thanks for the streams and being a non-stop content warlord. Love you chat xqcl.
We didn't see this before.
Try hard.
We seen something similar to this, but that's actually crazy.
You think I came down here for no reason? You think
You came here for a reason. You came here to kick my ass. You came here to kick a coach's ass. Dude, let's go.
You think
Another
I didn't come
month
down
of
here?
juice
You
content.
think I drove all this way because I didn't fucking look you up or do research on you? I'm not fucking
I would
retarded.
hope you did do research. Because I don't want to kick nobody's ass. And I don't want nobody kicking my ass.
I want to be trained. I want to be trained. He said, "Oh, fuck. We're gonna do some music. Let's do it."
When the bully steps in the boxing gym and challenges the boxing coach.
I've never done this shit before.
What? You never done what before? I had a guy walk into your it's your gym. You never had this? You never had this before, brother?
No, I have not.
He's gonna run out of steam in like 10 seconds, dude.
You know, it's not boxing.
Dude, is he even breathing? Dude, I don't think he's breathing.
You alright?
Jesus. It's not TOS, guys. This is a sport, man. They're boxing, man.
Sure you want to continue? You stepped in the wrong gym.
Think
You
so?
can't come to the gym and ask to spar somebody. Let's go. Let's work. Come on here. Come on. Come on, let's work.
Yeah, he's already out of steam.
Your street attitude is gonna get you hurt in the boxing gym. Come on, let's work. Let's fucking work. Come on, let's work.
Okay, dude.
It's gonna get you hurt in the boxing gym. Alright? You can't just come up to a boxing gym and want to fucking challenge a coach. That's not what the fucking gym is. That's not what boxing is about, man. You have your shit you do on the outside on the streets. You do whatever you do on the streets. You can't come in. You have to be humble when you walk in a boxing gym. You can't say, "Oh, I want to spar you." Come on, get up. I'm gonna give you a chance to throw punches at me. Come on, throw punches at me. Let's work. I'm not hitting you. I'm not hitting you. Let's work. Come on, I'm tapping you.
I know what you're
Let's
waiting
work,
for.
baby. No, I'm not hitting you. If I want to hit you, I'll hit you. Come on.
I know you
Throw
will.
me pop. Throw a punch at me. Pop it out. Come on. Let me see what you got. You ain't got no type of work. You ain't got no type of work, man. You talking about you a tough guy. You ain't tough. Who the fuck are you? Who did you box in the streets? Who did you box in the streets? You say
This
you
is
have any fight.
embarrassing,
Let's work.
dude.
Hands up because I'm gonna hit you now.
I know you
Hands
are.
up, I'm gonna hit you. Hands up. Come on, hands up. Ah! Hands up. Hands up. Let's go.
Dude, he looks like he's gonna
Come on,
cry.
man. It's fun shit to me.
No,
You stepped
it is.
in the wrong fucking boxing gym, dude.
You're
You
fucking
can't,
right,
you
it
can't
is.
come in the gym and fucking want to challenge the coach.
This
Come
is-
on,
it's
hands
just-
up.
it's just
Fuck,
getting
you
weird
know,
now.
I'll take a shot if I want to.
I know you can.
Keep your hands up. Yeah, let me see you get mad. Huh? You got it? Let me see you get mad. Yeah, let me see you get mad. Fucking can't come to the gym and ask to fucking challenge the coach. Let's fucking work. It's elite boxing, baby. This is elite boxing. This is elite boxing, baby. Let's go. You can't just come in the gym and fucking ask to work with someone. Let's work. Let's work, baby. And tell you what, I just had fucking hip surgery 6 weeks ago. My hips is fucked up. And you coming in, I knew you was.
Jesus, man. You're both horrible. It's kind of, it's kind of hard to judge. But that other guy though, dude. Jesus. Whew, okay.
Between Hawaii and California, in an area about the size of Australia, is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
What?
For decades, tons of our plastic debris has accumulated there because of swirling ocean currents. It looks like a cloudy soup, and that's because the plastic objects are spaced far apart, and they range in size from large debris to microscopic. There are at least 4 other garbage patches like this in the world. And after
that's
scientists
disgusting.
discovered them, starting in the 90s, they thought that this might be where a lot of the plastic ended
Somebody said no, that's the United Kingdom.
up, out there, floating on the surface. But recently, scientists brought large nets to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and took a closer look at the objects they pulled out. They found water bottles, and hard hats, and bottle caps, and toothbrushes, and toilet seats, and laundry baskets. And using what they found, they were able to calculate how much debris was in all of the garbage patches.
There were about a few 100,000 tons of plastics at the surface of the ocean, which is a huge number.
It is a big number, but a few 100,000 metric tons of plastic is only about 1% of the estimated 8 million tons of plastic scientists believe is emitted into the ocean every year. So scientists have been left investigating a mystery. Where does the rest of the ocean's plastic go?
Well, I'm so confused.
This is clue number 1 in the case of the missing plastic, a seafloor sediment sample. It was taken from the bottom of the Santa Barbara Basin off the coast of California.
Uh-oh.
It represents a measure of time, from 1870 at its deepest layer of sediment up until 2009. But this period, from 1945 to 2009, is where the study authors were focused on. It's the era of plastic production. In these layers, scientists found plastic fibers and fragments that were 1 millimeter or smaller in size. They found more and more plastic particles as the years went on, doubling every 15 years. That rate is nearly
15?
identical to the rate of global plastic production.
As soon as you see a layer of microplastic, you know you passed the 1950s. And that's the legacy of our generation.
This is Laurent Libreton. He works at the Ocean Cleanup and led the study of the objects in the
it
Great
looks like a
Pacific
Chad.
Garbage Patch.
And this will be there forever. We know that.
The sea sediment study looked at microplastics, particles smaller than 5 millimeters. These either come from synthetic clothing fibers, or they are the result of larger plastics breaking down.
Okay.
We found these tiny particles floating throughout the ocean, and even in the guts of the ocean's tiniest creatures, like plankton. But the sediment study shows that some of our plastic is likely hiding, buried in the seafloor, too. But here's another clue. This is a plastic bag captured 2,500 meters below the surface of the Arctic deep sea. It's one of over 2,100 photographs taken with this deep sea camera.
Part of the work that we're doing is to look at the impact of
By the
climate
Arctic?
change in the Arctic. We use towed camera surveys to look at the impact on large animals like starfish and snails, sponges. And while I was doing these surveys, I saw that more and more plastic debris was on the seafloor.
Melanie Bergman's research shows that large plastic objects don't just float on the surface or degrade into microplastic. Some of them sink without breaking down.
Pretty crazy, man.
One study
I
found that
can't
about
fix any of this
50% of plastic in landfills is more dense than seawater, which means these objects could sink on their own.
But even those other 50% may actually travel to
fix
the
that.
seafloor with time. debris which is floating on the ocean surface becomes colonized with barnacles, mussels, all sorts of different organisms. And then it becomes heavier and heavier, and at a certain point it then starts to sink.
That is actually disgusting.
Bergman's research is difficult to replicate throughout the ocean because of the challenge of surveying deep-sea environments. But it suggests that some of that missing plastic might be sitting on the seafloor, intact. Another clue complicates the mystery, though. This plastic crate from Taiwan. It's one of the objects excavated during the harvest in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And what struck researchers was its production date, 1971. When they looked at the production dates of other objects, they saw a trend. A lot of it was old trash. This was a new lead, because if the majority of plastic pollution degraded into microplastic or fell to the ocean floor, then what you'd see in garbage patches would be new plastic.
That's it?
And that changed the story
I
because
thought the net was huge.
the plastic that is accumulated at the surface of the ocean is actually very persistent. The plastic we find in subtropical oceans may actually be there for decades, if not centuries.
Wait, what the fuck?
It turns out the new plastic is far closer than the open ocean or the bottom of the deep sea.
There's like 200 nets, man.
Le Breton's research found that plastic objects on coastlines have more recent production dates than plastic in the open ocean. This clue led scientists to think a lot of debris actually stays close to shorelines around the world, hidden in plain sight.
Some of that will end up in the middle of the ocean in garbage patch, but actually a lot of it stays fairly near shore and hops from beach to beach to beach.
Eric von Sabeel is an oceanographer and is building an ocean model that predicts where our missing plastic ends up. The completed model will be finished in 2022, but in the meantime, he and his team publish initial results to a Twitter feed.
We use simulations of the ocean currents, and then we put in virtual plastic. We move that plastic with the ocean flow. At the same time, the plastic can fragment, it can degrade, organisms start growing on it, that weighs down the plastic so that it slowly starts to sink into the deeper ocean. So in that way, we're doing like this gigantic simulation of all of the ocean, of all the plastic moving around.
Van Sabeel thinks that a majority of plastic pollution is within 100 miles of shorelines, continually getting washed back up on beaches, down coastlines, or up and down to the sea floor.
Plastic continuously goes back and forth between the coastline and offshore.
Guys, I made these in
That's
the chat.
a lot
I want
of
to see those in the video.
rubbing and fragmenting and scraping over the sand.
This commotion...
Yeah, I got the point. I got the point of the video. Okay, chat. I'll see the rest of it.
International help is being pledged for India as it battles a ferocious second wave of coronavirus, described by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a storm that has shaken the nation. Almost 350,000 new infections were recorded in India in the latest 24-hour period, and 2,000...
Jesus.
Charanjeev Malhotra has been helping to cremate the dead for decades.
Jesus. All right. Well, that's kind of sad. Okay. You know what they say, right?
No, what do they say?
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep.
Hey, you're actually a good singer.
Thank you, man.